Making good maps is a beast when creating a video game. There are many rules to be aware of, and you need to be quite creative to make a game world that feels unique. You always need to think about game feel, player experience and pace. I will go into detail of these three concepts in just a tad, but I wanted to introduce myself really quick. My name is Daniel, I've been making a roguelike shoot 'em up game for over a year, and this year is your crash course to map design. The first half of this video will be about the game design part, and the second about the art aspect. And in case you're more into 3D game dev and maps, Emperor Necro, my buddy, made another video on 3D maps. If everything worked well, it should be out at the same time as this video. The design part might take the most time, and that's absolutely fine. There are definitely different types of maps, like you add a lot of backtracking in a Metroidvania and a more linear design in a puzzle game. In my example, I decided for more of a Metroidvania design. I added backtracking with a central map design. In this there's one area where you always come back to. All main paths lead to this center. You can also add backtracking with loops, and I added these too, but you only need one of those for backtracking, of course. Another important rule is pacing. It means that you shouldn't always put in fast-paced action, but also slower parts in between. The constant changes of pace add a lot of variation to the game, and that makes it obviously more interesting and fun to explore this level. In player feel, you just make it fun to navigate around in the world by keeping the player engaged so it doesn't get boring. And as always, game feel means that everything the player does feels responsive, juicy and fair. But there's nothing special with maps here. Another super important rule is wherever the player goes, it needs to be rewarded. If it's just a little coin or something bigger, the player needs to get at least a little reward. Otherwise it just wouldn't feel fair. And now let's just explain how this map here works. First you're in the center. Here you can go up, but you need a key there. So go right. There you can get a reward if you got a bomb. Or you can go up. You don't have the bomb yet, but you get the sword in this zone when you go up. Back to the center, you can now break the wood and fight a few enemies. This is a quite linear section here. There are always openings where you can get in with the bomb, and this you will get when you defeat a boss at the end of the zone. Back to the center again, you can now break the bomb blocks. Then you'll encounter a simple puzzle where you need to use the bomb, a little exploration section, some enemy fights, and lastly, for the zone, puzzles again. When you survived all of that, you get the key. Now it's time to head back to the center and use that key to get into the castle. Here the game would just continue, but I only made this map here. And this is basically all I have to say about the design part. So let's move on to the art. First I came up with a simple color scheme. I decided to go with one where the grass is a more desaturated green, just as all other colors are quite desaturated too. After I had an idea of which colors to use, I put in the flat colors. Next it was time for the most basic shading and highlighting. When I finished that, I then did the detailed shadows and added a lot of other details. Then soft color variation and just a simple sky background. All enemies are red, so it's easy for the player to notice that they are something dangerous. And other than that, I don't have to say anything about color theory and art. I hope you liked this video. If you did so, I would highly appreciate it if you subscribed. And also you can now watch the video by my buddy Emperor Necro. And I think that's it. I hope I will see you next time. Cheers.